It's all in the blend. Do you comprehend?
And now using the funnel into the sterile bottle, the filtered water from jug 10. And we'll store that safely until we use it to make the tea, and that won't be very long. So, back in a couple of seconds. Now we've reached the stage where we've got 10 bottles purified water filtered in sterilised bottles, and we keep that safe because we've gone to a lot of trouble to do that. So the second ingredient of a cup of tea is the tea itself. You can see I've got a fair selection here. Some of it's loose leaf, some of them are tea bags, just to show you that they actually do exist. Now, tea bags started to come into fashion in this country from the early 50s. From about 1952, I think Lipton's introduced them. And I find that with tea bags, the best way to deal with them is to do this. Just follow me. What we do, they've already been dried, all the fairings have been swept up from the floor and put into the tea bags very carefully. So what we do is we pop them into the fire where they'll burn brightly. Can you see the flame there? And they'll burn nice and brightly and give a fragrance of tea. There, now you've got a lovely fragrance of tea while the tea bags burn, and we can talk about the actual tea. There are probably 1,500 different types coming out of India and China and Sri Lanka, which is they're the three major producers of tea. Tea originally came from India, from Assam, and there is a variety of tea called Assam. The Chinese say that they introduced it to the world, and maybe they did, but the tea they brought with them came from the earliest population of China, who had come across from India, carrying Assam tea from the wild bushes. Now, I use my own blend. You can use whatever you want, whatever suits your taste, but I use Harry Holton's own brand of Assam and Rahuna. Now, these two teas for me work very well together. In the 19th century, tea drinkers would have a little wooden box, a tea caddy, with 2, maybe 4 different types of tea in, and a crystal bowl in the middle, and they would blend the teas together, they'd mix up the leaves. All that seems to have gone out of fashion. It's too much trouble, but it's not too much trouble for me. So what I'm going to do is mix the Assam and the Rahuna together. I don't need spoons to do it. I've got an airtight seal on this particular container, this caddy, and I put 80 milligrams of Rahuna and 125 milligrams of Assam together, and give them a good shake, and that's really it. There's nothing more to it than that. These are the two that I like to drink together. They work well for me. As I say, it's entirely up to you. It's your own choice, your tea, your taste, and you might prefer something stronger, something milder. Rahuna is a long leaf tea. Assam is rather more finely ground, and they work together well for me. So that's my blend. You can use any one of these. You can use tea bags if you really must, but I wouldn't. Loose leaf tea's the way to go, I think. So next up, we're going to make it.
Be sure your water's on the boil, or your tea will always spoil.